What would happen if we put on an overlay? Mm, all right. I'm trying to see how to turn on an overlay so I can put up a screen title. Let me see if I can add image. Here we go. All right, there we go. It might be a little thing, but it took me took me some time to figure out how to make it. But now that'll give me the ability to put up some overlays with information that may be needed. And but let me see if it shows up on the stream. Okay. Oh yeah. All right, there you go. So it took a little while to figure it out, but I I found that I could make an image uh, with a transparent background, and and then once I fill them out, I can build like a style, and once I fill them out, I can have them thrown up on the feed. So this will give us a lot of versatility in communication, so that I don't have to always be saying the same thing over and over. And maybe if we need, we can. My stream keeps freezing. Hmm. I also see my logo in the bottom right hand corner. I wonder where that's coming from. I don't even know. I don't even know where that's coming from. But all right, we have a lot to do today, and the thing to do is go grab some pour bowls and share them with a friend of mine to see if it's something they want to bring in to a sale, an upcoming show. Actually, welcome in. Working on I'm working on setting up hmm Hmm. Um, Jump on. Are you on the live right now? Um, do you want to jump on there real quick and let me know what kind of a lag you have, and then I'm gonna show. I guess I'm gonna see if there's any feedback through the phone to myself, and then we'll see what kind of a delay there is if I were to pull up some work and show the camera. To put my jacket. I think I left it inside. Hello, Leela. All right, so everything looks good to move forward. I'm gonna kill, maybe a poor choice of words. I'm gonna kill this screensaver or this image. All right, there it goes. So yeah, there is a little delay, a lag in the feed. I don't know uh, how far that is for everybody else, but it's a little. I think it's naturally kind of discombobulating to watch yourself or to hear yourself in a delay. So I'm gonna quit quit focusing on that, and I'm gonna turn my attention to my headspace and do a quick overview of where we're at. I ran this overnight, this rock tumbler, trying to reclaim the last few bits of our tripods. So all the spent tripods, we had a bowl of tripods, and we put them into this rock tumbler that my brother let me borrow, and we have tumbled this. These are clean. We have tumbled. These are all the clean wads, and we have tumbled them into a hopefully a reusable material. And then we did the same the with the ones that had glaze, and they're definitely different in their analysis because of the additional glaze material. So right now it's getting the water sucked out of it through the plaster. So this here is the wadding material from the spent wads that we have tumbled in the rock tumbler to try to reclaim and reuse the material. And it's probably poor. It's probably a bad business decision since the material in and of itself is fairly cheap versus time and labor. But I don't like throwing away things, and I am a huge fan of repurposing. So if it's as easy as dumping it into a rock tumbler and letting it turn on, um, pulling the water out, and then grinding it back down to work, then I'm willing to try. So this is a old idea, and we're trying to see if it will work. So that's in process. We'll crack this open in a little while and see what the results are inside of it. Um, Next, all of the wads are, or the stilts that we had on the shelves up here, they're all in the kiln on bisque. I think I need to go ahead and shut the lid. Let me check that. All right, lid is shut. The One of the next steps that we have, excuse me, one of the next steps that we have is to glue the wads to the cups. And we do this because it helps in glazing. We can just glue once we glue it down with some wood glue, it'll hold on. We can hold it when we glaze. It gives us a little more control when glazing it. And then the wad, the tripods hold the piece up off the shelf in the kiln firing. And so without the stilt, so without the stilt, um, any any glaze that's on the piece can run down and attach the cup to the shelf, and then you have to chip it off. Um, and then also in atmospheric firings with with salt, soda, or ash, or any sort of like fluxing or fuming agent, those also will glaze the cups to a shelf. So these things are used to support the pieces up off the shelf for many different reasons. And so every piece gets one. So that's what we just put into the kiln. And our goal is to get them fired just like this one so that we can glue them on and start glazing. The next thing that we need to do is get our glazes prepped, and we hope to get to that soon. So let me put this back. All right. Thank you, Leela. Thank you for being our number one chat person. You're you're rather chatty. There goes TK. All right. Cool. All right. So what I want to do is I want to come back to my overlays, and I want to make an overlay real quick for the stream. For if I need a break. I think that will be a good thing to have. Live stream. All right, text. Add a title. Back in a back in a few. Let's put back in a few. Right. outline, black. So right now I'm making a overlay that will alert you that we're going to be stepping out for a second. Come on. Mm, Um, go download. All right, let's see how quick this works. I'll title it Break PNG. Uh, all right, that did not work. So we will cancel that. Mm, life is full of trial and errors. It does really well. You'll do really well if you enjoy your trials and fixing errors. And I'm doing all this because I need to go use the restroom and I'm trying to make a screensaver that can tell you that without ending the stream. Mm, okay, got it. Let's try that again. Download, download, download. My nose is itching. Replace. All right, let's try again. Image, browse, break. Boom. All right, cool. That worked. So now all I got hit the volume So now there'll be no volume, and then I'll take a quick break and I'll be back. See y'all in a minute. Okay. All right, that worked. So if I can now create a slide overlay, um, I need I need one that maybe it just takes on a third. Like, what if it took on? So what if it took on hmm, I've got so many ideas. I've got so many ideas and they run so quickly. And I had said I had one of the let me just say one of those ideas was, people always ask, if you could have do whatever, anything, what would it be? And I said, I would like to be able to do any idea that passes through my head, no matter how small or how great. To have the freedom to just have an idea and then to have the resources or to know how to obtain the resources to uh, to go after it, that would be, that would be just perfect. Perfect is probably a poor word, um, but yeah, to have the resources to go after any idea, that would be uh, that would be a good thing to have, I think. But for now, um, I have to do all of my ideas. Like I have to put them on the back burner, write them in a book, write them in a notebook, put them down, and then do my best to prioritize to working in the direction of, of accomplishing these things. And so, art has taught me how to be creative, and the business, this whole pottery business idea, and more than I'd say of recent, but really it's an accumulation of all of our knowledge. The business element has taught me how to be more procedural and uh, structured. So between the two of those, I have myself a highly creative business or highly creative art in a mildly successful business. Um, but since my focus is not to build a successful business, I take great comfort in loving the journey. And I had learned that through hiking the Appalachian Trail. Um, it really is the journey that we choose, that it's those memories that stick with us. And so, what memories do you want? What journey do you want to reminisce? And for me, it's to be, it's to be free. It's to be free of the fear that suppress um, creative living, open living, authentic living, to have the freedom to know who you are or to find yourself and then to go after it, to have the confidence to walk in it. And that to me has been probably my the greater struggle, the personal struggle. Um, and so, my artwork, my studio, my rambling, um, my drive. There's a, I think that there's a truth in the idea of being able to share the rawest parts of our humanity and and our media, our social media and our media and our communication, uh, they give us very easy access our to take ourself and mask, filter, to make up, to repair, and we can and those tools are only getting more developed and more advanced, to the point where now online, as we all know, AI can regenerate who you are into anything the mind can imagine. And so the ability to see if something is true has just become immensely convoluted. And uh, so what do we do with that? If society as a whole is moving in this direction, um, everyone globally is choosing to go in this direction because it's the direction you're going in. And no single person um, can stop that. But we all have to try to just be honest with ourselves. And if it's the direction we want to go, then to know it. And it's really a hard place to live. Reality is a really hard place to live, um, if you don't like the way that society is going, because then it's like you're pulling against the world. And there's so many people out there that do, and um, and I think they're great people to have, no matter where they're at, right? Everyone needs the advocate to pull in their direction, and every advocate, needs people to reciprocate, um, if they agree. And if everyone can respect that we all have the freedom to pull in the direction that we need to pull in, um, then we'll hold ourselves together. Um, I think it's a good thing that we all have someone to keep us from just running off in our direction. Because I guess it is true that you could over love something. Or maybe if that can't be a true statement, then maybe we have the freedom to think that we are loving, in which we overlove something. I wonder if OBS, when it brings in the feed, which I have not got to work, I wonder if it brings it in faster because there's no delay when I'm looking at OBS right here, but then I know that there could be a really long delay before it hits you. Mm, um, what if I put a That's interesting to try to do. Push up right here. If I put up a infographic behind me, put my name at the top. Um, I don't know. I don't know what to do. I got the kiln firing in the other room. None of this is important. All right. What's next? What's next? What's next? Thank you for being here. My name is Kevin. Feel free to feel free to ask me anything. Feel free to ask me anything. I know in these formative moments, the algorithm is not necessarily uh, promoting big, and I'm happy with that. I feel it's a good thing to kind of start slow and just give yourself time to find your voice, to find your landscape, to find your comfort, and uh, and that's what we're doing here. We welcome advice, critique. Where my desire here is growing, to begin growing something. Um, and I've got a lot of seeds. I've got a lot of ideas. Um, and I don't know how to quite farm. I'm not quite a farmer. And so I've got a lot of seeds that what I'm going to do is instead of trying to protect them, I'm going to just start planting them here. And if you start hearing things that you like, if you start hearing ideas that kind of spark your interest, that maybe help you, you need it, it's something that resonates with you, we welcome conversation and community. I know that right now there's no one here, so it's just me talking to myself or me talking to the future you, future me, and and I'm just wrapping my head around that idea of sharing and believing that if you give, that if you give first, you will receive. And I don't want to die with a notebook full of ideas. I want to give them away, crazy or not. We used the analogy not too long ago of unrefined oil. You know, it's equally, if not more valuable than processed fuel because it contains all the other processed fuels in the one. But you can't do anything with it until you filter it down and break it down and make it palatable for whatever the need is. And that is the same for ideas. We need people, the world needs people to start having the freedom to share their idea no matter how bad it is, how unrefined it is, how, whatever it looks like. A lot of people that have ideas, I don't know how loud that plane is. A lot of people that have ideas, they're dreamers and visionaries and daydreamers. And you end up you end up dreaming your way through it, right? Because you're trying to find the limits to the idea. But ideas are perfect, right? Like the idea is exactly what your mind wants in thought and emotion and, you know, in timing. That's how dreams are, daydreams. And so when you come to that place, it can be really easy to become a perfectionist, and then you become afraid to share or the ability to start or to try because that first step is so raw and and natural, right? To just take an idea out of your head and try to find the words for it. Try to allow yourself to use the wrong analogy or the wrong something or the wrong, you know, tone maybe. Anyways, let's not over over need the dough. I told Leela, I said, I need a word for this. And when you overwork something, and so I said, well, what if it's soap? You get on your soapbox, right? We call it soap. I said it could be soapboxing, and then boxing for short. And so like, when I have an idea, I I I draw that perimeter, right? I push that line back, and then I circle in until I come to the cleanest, most refined point. And generally, it's my biggest or my most refined epiphany. And that's what I do is I circle until I hit it. Well, that circling is like you can really be in the bushes. And so I said, it'll be boxing. We'll call it boxing. When you box an idea, you beat it up, overwork it. Soap, short for soap boxing. So if I get into rambling, feel free. I will know that you're on my team if I see that word boxing pop up, and I'll be like, all right, move on. Let me see if anybody's here yet. I have stopped looking at the screen. It says I got one person in here now. I think Leela did dip out. Oh, you know who that one person is me. Oh, and I am, I am here. Yes, I am. All right. Let's see what's next. I think I need to use the restroom. I've been drinking a lot of water. I had a really, really bad thing happen to me, and maybe this won't be the place that I share it. But uh, I've been drinking a lot of fluids. That's probably like not the best thing to leave open-ended. Oh man. All right, I want to make myself a panel here, here, uh, overlay, and I want to put my name at the top. There. And I could put something here. Oops. So that is let me play this slideshow. I have it set on a rolling thing. I could change it, but I just started throwing in some ideas and placeholders to see how it would work. I really like the font. It's really clean and minimal, but these were some ideas that I thought I could use to share information, like this task list. I wish I could stop it, but we don't need to. I'm gonna keep building it. I threw this together last night at like 12:30 to try to test this overlay idea. So that's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna throw back up my back in a few, and I'm going to hit this mute button and give me like 5 minutes. What I'll do is I'll put the the uh, the expected time of arrival, ETA 5 minutes. All right, let's do that. I'll be back. All right. I was telling Leela to check the audio. I'm gonna let this sit for a minute and see how the audio sounds just coming from the camera. And the levels are lower, so it may be lower, but we'll see. It may be better. It may be better for me to wear the mic. That way it goes with me, and even when I'm, kind of mumbling or falling off the end, then it still may pick it up. With the camera here, I may have to be more diligent to talk through the camera, talk louder, and make sure that comes across. Also, ambient noise like the trucks going by. We love South Mississippi. The summers are brutal, but the summers are brutal. That's all I gotta say. This winter's been absolutely amazing. So we're just checking the volume. I had to bump it up to get the levels the same, but then, like I said, I'm having to talk through the camera. So let's set that as a foundation, and then I will turn this mic on, and we'll see how it changes. Key to communication is good audio. What was that? Okay, so um, it off. Okay, here it goes. All right, so now it's loud. I'm gonna bring it down. Test, check, 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 and and that should be a good range. Um, test, 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 test. 1, 2, and we're just getting into the orange metering. All right, we'll wait till we get feedback from Leela. We're moving on. We're gonna keep the mic. All right, let me reach out. Or instead of reaching out, somebody asked to see a few pieces, so I was gonna, I would typically photograph and send, but um, but since we're live, I just figured I'd pull them out live and show these bowls, and then instead of trying to get her in to see them with the lag or the delay, um, maybe what I'll do is just run through them and then send her a link later. Okay, Leela says it sounds nice and loud. This is the mic on my neck, the mic 2. I'll turn it off and then we'll adjust the volume. All right, so now we're coming from the camera, and so the metering is down about 20 marks, talking the same. If I boost the gain and bring it up to the 20%, I would have to talk like this, almost directly to the camera in order to keep the levels hitting at the same place that the mic 2 would at a lower gain. So this may be good, but it would definitely fall apart once I leave the camera or if I get too close. It could help me talk more direct if maybe I was doing you know, um, communicating with the feed. That way it reminds me to talk louder. So maybe it'll be good to use the audio from the mic. It could feel more natural. And then if I'm working in the studio, I'll try the other. So I'm going to turn the mic 2 back on, and then I'm going to lower the gain. Test, check, check, check. Yeah, and Leela also text that I don't want to strain my voice, and it is true. I feel the same. It could take you know, a little while to develop enough strength in the vocal cords to talk through your process all day. Because if we bring this studio live and I'm now narrating my thoughts and and sharing the process and answering questions, that could be definitely a big strain on the voice. So we want to practice good breathing, relaxed vocals, clear and articulate speech with brief thoughts. All right. I want to make this screenshot. So if you want to hang out, please do. Um, I'm not confident enough yet to share my screen. Hold on, Matt. See, that's oh wait, she left me. Leela, come back. I love Leela. It sounds nice and loud. It sounds nice and loud as the mic on the computer will restrain your voice. Mhm. I'll text you instead. Oh, okay. For those of you that don't know, which is probably a lot, Leela is my wife. We have been married a little over a year now, and it has been wonderful. Which way do you look if you're lying? Or not lying, but if you're using your creative senses. Is it this side? Should I know that? No, I don't need to know that. Um, because it's not a lie to know that you just have a poor vocabulary. All right, here we go. Let's go. Copy. All right, so we're going to build, right now, I'm going to build a screen overlay. And I like where this is heading. I wish you could see it. You will once I learn how to do it safely. Um, let's go ahead and give this color. I like the color green. Roll with the flow. Throw with the flow. Throw with the flow. Throw with the flow. Um, I like it. Boom, boom. That's all that matters, right? Trust yourself. Trust yourself. Trust you. Don't trust you. You could be wrong. All right. Live stream, Pottery Studio. Ditch that. I don't want to feel cramped, so let's drop it to a quarter. Okay. Um, download. No, not. All right, download. Grow with the flow. Flow. Download. Transparent PNG. 1920. Download. Um, yeah. One of these days, I'll figure out how to share what I'm doing, like the back end, for for anyone that stumbles across this stuff that may be interested. I'll get better at sharing it, sharing screens, and I don't know how to necessarily protect myself digitally online yet, so I'm working through all of that. What to share, what not to share. I don't think anybody would want to steal my identity um, unless you wanted to be crazy. Throw with the flow. Throw with the flow. Live stream Pottery Studio. All right, here we go. I need a new folder where I can organize these things. We'll call it whiteboard. We'll call it WB. Whiteboard opener. Okay, there we go. Now this may take too long, but the idea is that we get it built up and then it's done. When you cut to the camera's mic and move the levels up, it did equalize the volume. It made it equal to the DJI mic. I think you may be thinking I moved the slider up. I had brought the volume up, so that may have been what you had heard. Rename. We're going to call this one break. All right, now we're going to add another image. We're going to call this one whiteboard. Browse. All right. Oh man, I cut that back. I no, I don't know. I feel like that's a good amount of room. I could bring it a little further over, but I'm not really liking the green. Uh, I don't know why. I seem to like very neutral whites. I think it's because of pedestals and. But all right, so that could be our whiteboard look. So I could throw up the whiteboard, and then this could be a place where I put some notes and some messages. Let me see if anybody's popped in yet. Uh, let's see. Uh, sounds nice and loud. Leela's back. I'm back. We've been rolling for 88 minutes. And it seems pretty up to date on my end. So I wish what I need is to make it quicker. I need to be able to type quicker. Let's see if we can go make that white. Try 90%. Ooh, I hear my stomach. I think it's time for lunch. Let's make that white. What can I say? Mm-mm, not right. Getting windy. All right. Save. Download. All right, here we go. I think this is going to be our last one. Whiteboard, browse, download, open. All right, so we are doing it. We are building ourselves a studio space. Start small. Start small. Enjoy the journey. Enjoy the little steps. Throw with the flow. Live stream. Throw with the flow. Live stream. Pottery Studio. And then every day I could make, I'll do like this, but it's over here. Right now I could say, boom, boom. But I could have a list of tasks we're working on, upcoming events, how to support, where to find us, how to engage, what topics are on the table. We could make a note board. We could have like a note board. So if we have a certain topic that we're working on, we can filter ideas in, and then we could build out a whiteboard to where maybe we're all crafting ideas together. Piece of paper. Um, eventually, the goal is to get into projects, right? Uh, I'm normally extremely busy with any number of tasks. The struggle that I have is trying to trying to edit footage, and that's just a little too. It's I've got so much going in my head. I'm like, I just got to stop, and take a break, take a breath, collect your thoughts. The goal of going live, the goal of going live is because I have not found time to edit my life. And it seems to be what is required of artists is to share their art, but society's desire for entertainment has changed the way artists share their art. And they primarily are sharing for the purpose of entertaining. If you're entertaining, you you fill the itch that people most love to itch, to be entertained. And I think that there are many more ways to share. Hmm. So I can feel my voice, feel like my vocal cords are giving up. Let me just conclude the thought. There's a lot of work that needs to be done. I haven't found the ability to work, film, and edit into entertaining content. I just I find that my work would suffer. Something would have to suffer, and I don't want it to be the work, and I don't want it to be me. So I thought, if I can set up a live feed, and all I'd have to do is just keep the story going, keep the narrative going, drop a camera for context, have a secondary camera on the table, and then I can come in here and work, and we could easily uh, pan through slides to answer questions, maybe you know the main the main content types. So it wouldn't take much to get those uh, those overlays scrolling. And then I don't know what it would take to get a second camera for the details, so that as I'm throwing on the wheel or working on the table, um, you can very easily see what's happening. So I think that's what we need to do, is just keep working on this slide, keep working on the slides idea, and then get into a project. I've got a few that I'm working on, and I guess I'll just have to figure out which one to do. Hey, babe. Uh, no, no, I'm just working through an idea, and I think I'm gonna take a break. I'm gonna uh take these pour bowls and then bring them over here and set them up, and then maybe come back and make that like its own thing. We'll try to like maybe we'll stop the live.
This afternoon.
It does take almost too long to stop a live. But if we break and then put up a new slide of like what the next segment is, like what we could do is
How long has your live stream been so far?
um it's starting to get chilly out here. So far we're at 100 minutes, and
You can do it. Go live for at a time.
I think you can go live for 4 hours at a time. But look, you see the screen? You like that? And so we can see I'm like this, but then it's like we're gonna start filling that out there, and
Yeah, I like it.
we can do a lot. We can do a lot with this.
We
But
can see. So I came out because the sourdough, what we made is 433 grams, and the recipe calls for 500. So I was thinking of just taking Mindy's jar or just the starter in the big bucket. I'm in the bigger jug, and just filling it out with that. Does that sound good?
hmm.
Isn't it? Better.
Uh-oh, undo. What did I do? Oh, I deleted the video capture device. I was just trying to delete some of those. Okay, I'm listening now.
Um, so we only have 433 grams of the one that we
The starter we made.
fed.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I took all that out. So I was gonna just supplement it from the starter and that's not fed and
To
just
get how much?
to make it
450?
500.
Oh, to bring it up to 500?
Yeah, cause there was.
Yeah, I think that would be fun. Yeah. Sounds good to me. Um, okay, whiteboard break, slide, Osmo camera. Test. Oh, okay, so the Osmo camera is where the audio is coming from. Test, test, test. Still. All right, let me see if I can add some text really quick. Create a new text. Um, we're going to say, what do we want to put up here? Live stream, Pottery Studio. Um, bowls for, looking for bowls for an upcoming event.
Choosing.
Choosing bowls for an upcoming event.
Select. Yeah.
Sharing.
Choosing bowls for upcoming. That sounds good to me.
Control the Flow live stream pottery studio. How to carry on the process. Like what would you write here? I want to write something. Like would I title it? Would it be a title, an idea,
One thing you might want to
what we're
consider
doing,
is
what
font size, because most people, not everybody's going to, but
but I think you can blow it up.
oh yeah, if I can,
Like if someone wanted to read it, they could maybe blow it up. I don't know. I'll have to test that.
yeah.
I know you can blow up YouTube's videos. I just don't know if you can do lives.
Well, I'm going to go finish the.
All right. I think I'm gonna set up for a break. No, no, I can unload it right there. All right. Wow. When we come back, all right, this is new, so I'm gonna give it a try. And like Leela had said, it may be hard to read if it's too small. I'm okay. Any font will do. I'm such I don't like it. Hey Chloe. Hey Chloe, what are you doing? You want to go throw the balls? Give me just a few minutes. Just a few minutes. Show me a font. All right, that's what we get. Let's just go with it so we can move forward. I don't like this texting in the OSB software. When we come back, we will pull. I think that's. Hmm. All right. I think this maybe this will work. This may be a little cumbersome that you don't get a lot of you don't have a lot of ability to change these, but it could be like live notes. Um, mm, I don't know. Maybe that's all we do. We're just testing. All right. Say okay. Okay. Um, all right. I have to be back. We're gonna say break. And well, I think that's Hello. All right. What's going on, everybody? I didn't realize it was already one and some change, 1:20. I'm gonna go ahead and grab some lunch, and I'll be back, and we'll come back on later. So, thanks for being here. Get yourself a break, some food, some whatever, and we'll be back to evaluate some pots and keep working forward.